What's up, guys? It's your boy Jordan, aka Mr. Pull the Trigger Bang Bang. Please don't forget the bang bang. And you already know this is part 5 of my entrepreneurial journey. In part 5, I'm gonna talk about my actual failures in business and the different businesses that I started that I failed in this time period, right? Not every business is successful. Not everything you do is gonna be successful. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be in this industry, there's definitely going to be some failures along the way, and I've had my fair share of failures. I'm just normal like everyone else. Hopefully, you know, the person sitting in your chair wearing your shoes and your clothes can relate to the failures, and then also understand that it's okay to fail, right? The beauty about failure is that when you fail, it gives you an opportunity to learn. If all you do is win, no matter what, you know, if all you do is win, then, you know, you never learn. I mean, yeah, you learn how to win, but what do you do when you lose? What do you do when you fail? How do you respond to that, right? And that shows a true leader and a true entrepreneur. It's not how they're doing when they're winning, it's how they're doing when they're failing and they have challenges and they got to find solutions. That will really mold a true leader, a true entrepreneur, a true businessman. So I've had my fair shares of failures, and who knows? You never know, the business that you're doing today could fail, but they can't take away your knowledge, right? They can take away the business, but they can't take away your knowledge. But I'm gonna go over some of the failures that I've had in this course of time, in this time period. So this is gonna be the part 5, right? This is just, you know, Jordan's failures. So one thing that I used to do when I was younger, I was really into car audio and car systems. I was the kid driving around with the loud system, the bass going, right? That was me. I still love bass, but as of right now, I don't have any bass in my car. But what I used to do is I used to install systems for friends, right? Friends, they would bring their car up to my house. I would install speakers, head units, subs. I built sub boxes, and I would set it up for them. You could take it to a audio shop and get it done, but I would do it for cheaper, right? So I would install the system because I just love to piece it all together and just see what it sounds like. I did that for about a year. The problem was I just didn't have a lot of traffic. There wasn't a lot of people that were into that industry that needed my services, so I wasn't really making a lot of money on it. I was more just doing it because I liked it. But it became too time consuming and it was real messy, and I was doing it at my parents' house, so I would just leave a mess and they didn't like it. So I actually stopped that business. I failed in it. The reason why it's okay though, what I learned from it was that when you get into an industry or you get into a market where you start a business, you want to start a business that has the potential to have a lot of customers. With the system and installing car audio, the issue was I just didn't have a lot of customers. So, and it's because it's a very niche market. So I learned that from that business. Moving on, I also got into Etsy sales, where I did some e-commerce. That was like my first like introduction into e-commerce. Etsy was like the new hot service on the market, and I wanted to take advantage of it. I heard some people were making money in Etsy. Etsy, if you don't know, look it up. It's more for like custom work, custom designs, custom things. But I heard that, I mean, basically you can sell anything on it. It's like OfferUp and eBay and Amazon. You can sell anything. It was a new hot thing, and I was hoping that it was gonna catch traction and just really just go and be the next eBay, Amazon. So I wanted to get started in the sales of that, and I started a little, I guess, business, if you want to call it. I ordered 100 units of portable chargers, right? Cell phone portable chargers at the time were hot, and I ordered 100 units from China. I actually borrowed $500 from my girlfriend to order them because I was broke at the time, but I just figured I could make some money here. So I borrowed $500 from my girlfriend to order these chargers, these super cheap chargers. They were cheap. To this day, I still have some, right? And I was selling for $20 a pop. I got them for $5. And I was trying to sell on Etsy. The challenge with Etsy was it's for custom items, so the items were not moving fast. They were moving slow. I would sell maybe one a week, one every 2 weeks, and I had 100 units. It took forever to sell. Like I said, I ended up closing my Etsy store before I was even able to sell all of those units. And I'm pretty sure, don't tell her, Hopefully she doesn't watch the video, but I'm pretty sure I still owe my girlfriend that $500. But, you know, she doesn't know about it. She hasn't asked for it, so we're good. No harm, no foul. But it just wasn't moving fast enough. And so I closed my Etsy shop. And like I said, I still have chargers to this day. So if you need a portable charger, hit me up. You can have it for free. I don't even want them anymore. They're just, I don't even know where, I'm pretty sure they're at one of my shops and we can't even sell them there. So hit me up if you need a portable charger. You can have it for free. But close that shop. Didn't really make any money on it. Like I said, I still probably owe my girlfriend $500 from that. But I believe the issue there was that I was on a platform that was looking for custom designs, and that's what people were on it for. And I was just selling a product, right? There was nothing custom about it. I just ordered it and I was selling a product. The lesson learned there is that know your market, right? Know your platform. Know what platform you need to be selling this on, how to market it. And you know, maybe if I spent some time and ordered it and made them a little unique with some design, maybe I could have sold them. That probably would have been better for Etsy. And there's nothing wrong with Etsy, right? Like if you haven't been on Etsy, go look it up. It's still booming, it's still moving. People are still selling their stuff, but it's more for that custom design stuff and unique items. Another business that I was in was car flipping, right? How I got into car flipping is I have a couple of friends, we're still friends to this day, and they actually still flip cars. They just did it a lot better than me. I had a couple of friends that flipped cars, and that's how they made the majority of their money, and they're always flipping cars, and I was super interested in the process and how it got done and how they did it, and I just, and the money, right? It was a lot of money. So, you know, I got into car flipping. Fortunately enough, shout out to my boy Nat and Jeff. Fortunately enough, Nat and Jeff actually let me in on their operation and in the car flipping, and they actually made me a part of their team with only a $500 investment, to be surprised. And what they did is they took my money, put it in their pot for flipping cars, and basically they would go out there and buy cars with my money, their money in the pot, and then we would split the percentages due to the work that we put in, you know, who found the car to buy, who sold the car, and just who put in the work to get the car moving, and we would split the percentages that way. And they let me on the operation. They showed me how to haggle with customers. They showed me how to find cars. They showed me how to post cars up to get the most sales, and just their system. They brought me in on their system for only $500, and they taught me the ropes. And it wasn't so, you know, they wanted my pot of money so they can, you know, just go out there and invest. They actually brought me in. It was just super nice of them, actually, because they just taught me how to do it. And they're like, yo, the goal is for all of us to go out there and do this on their own. You know, once you learn the system, everybody just take their money and go do it on their own. And after about a couple months, I had enough money to afford my own car, so I pulled my money out. They were cool with it, and I actually started flipping cars on my own. The beauty of it is I only did 2 cars. I only did 2 cars in the time frame that I flipped cars on my own. I bought a PT Cruiser, bought that for like $1,400. I believe I sold, no, I bought that for $1,600, and I sold that for $2,200. My first experience with buying cars was terrible, right? I let the person buy it at my house, which I learned from Nat and Jeff that you don't do that, right? Don't sell something like that at your house. It's just weird. I don't know. You just don't want people to know where you live. It's just weird out here in 2020, but it wasn't even 2020 at the time. But I didn't want to sell the car at my house, but they wanted to buy the car. I wasn't home. I was at work, so I had my dad show them the car. They wanted to buy the car. The first person bought it for $2 grand. The next morning, they were out front of my house at 5 a.m. You don't show up at people's house at 5 a.m. asking for their money back because they didn't want the car anymore. And unfortunately, since I sold it at my house, even though all sales are final, I had to go to work, right? And I just wanted to have these people at my front lawn, so I just gave them their money back, took my car back, and within the next day, I sold it for $2,100. And that was my first flip. That normally would have burned me out, but I was still like, that's a one-time thing, whatever. And I bought my second car. I bought a Mitsubishi a Lancer, like a 05 stick shift. It was cool. It was dope. I actually drove it to work for like a month, just so I didn't have to drive my car. But when I sold that one, I actually only made like $50 on it after a month of having it. And the experience of selling that car was just awkward. Like, the guy that was buying the car was just really, really weird. And he was, when I went on a test drive with him, I was low-key concerned that I wasn't gonna make it back to the Starbucks. But we made it back, we sold it. I just wanted to get it off my hands, and that was my second car I sold. After that, I realized that the car flipping business wasn't for me. It's for some people, and there's people flipping cars. Like I said, my boy Nat and Jeff, they still flip cars to this day. They still got the process down. They're cool with it, and they're making money. And I got a couple other friends that are selling cars too. It just wasn't it for me. There was too many variables. I didn't really like to meet the people with such large sums of money. It just felt a little bit sketchy to me. So I didn't want to do it anymore. So I actually got out of that business, and it was really mostly because it was just too variable. I had to talk to a lot of people to get the sale. And a lot of people weren't serious buyers or tire kickers, and or they would try to lowball me, and I just wasn't in for that, right? So I got out of the car flipping business pretty quick. It was fun while it lasted, but what I learned from that is that you need to be in a business that you're comfortable with, a business that you can get excited for, and just be in a business that you're happy to do every day, right? I wasn't happy doing that. I didn't like how it was done. I didn't like how the variables were. I didn't like having to talk to the people that were trying to buy the cars. It just wasn't for me. Sometimes you can't just be in any business. You gotta be in a business that suits you, that you're gonna be happy to do, right? If I was still flipping cars to this day, I'd probably be very unhappy and be a little uncomfortable. So along with flipping cars, I also had another business. Me and one of my good friends, Marcus, who would say he's the 5th member of the Diversified Income Project, or maybe the 6th, I don't know. Between him and David, I don't know who's 5th and 6th. They can battle over that. But me and my buddy Marcus, we actually started a clothing company called Vigilante Attire. And it was, I guess you can call it a t-shirt company. We had t-shirts, we had hats. We're doing print on demand, and print on demand is a big industry. Now, it was a big industry then. And we were just printing clothes, right? This is one of our designs, the hero shirt. I had to bring it back. I still wear our designs, even though the company is no longer in business. But we started Vigilante Attire, and the focus was to let people know that they can be their own hero, or they can be the hero for others, and not all heroes wear capes. So that was the premise of that. We had like 4 or 5 designs. We had some dope hats. We had a dope logo. Like I said, this is my favorite design. I still have many of these shirts. I still wear them often. I have hoodies of it. And I still have my hat. I just don't wear hats as much anymore. Marcus was the CEO. I was just the help. And he was the designer too. He designed everything too. So if you never need designs and Marcus isn't too busy flying around the world, hit him up. Maybe he can help you out with design. How we first did it, we didn't start at print on demand. We were doing it, normal brick and mortar. We would go to a print shop, we would order, and we would sell them. Our first order, what we did is we got $2,000 in pre-orders. And we got all those printed, right? So we already made profit before we even sold the shirts. As we took that profit, ordered another batch so we can have the shirts on hand, so we can give it to people when they buy them. And the issue with that was that we just didn't have enough customers. We didn't have the marketing. We didn't have a website at the time. We were just, kind of just selling shirts out of your trunk type of deal. But then we got a website, and we learned about print on demand. And we got print on demand. We were using Spreadshirt at the time. There's a bunch of different websites out there. Even Amazon has a print on demand for merch, which we're gonna take advantage of later with the dip. We used print on demand. We had a Shopify website. The only problem is just we didn't understand marketing, and we didn't know how to drive traffic at the time. So we didn't really know how to market our brand out to people. It was actually pretty difficult with just 2 people making all the designs and getting them out there and just coming up with new ideas. So that business kind of just fizzled out. We kind of lost the passion for it. Loved the brand, loved the idea. If Marcus ever wanted to really start it again and get into it, I'd probably be down, and because I have more knowledge now today than I did back then. But it kind of just fizzled away. We kind of just never did anything with it. And it was kind of because we went to print on demand. We didn't have shirt inventory, so we really didn't push it. We weren't losing any money, so it kind of just fizzled out. But it was dope. It was dope. It was dope time. What I learned from that and from that failure was that you gotta, take the time to research and learn how to, advertise this stuff and advertise the business and advertise your product, right? Which I know how to do now, but I didn't know how to do back then. Lastly, we talked about network marketing in, parts 1 through 4. I did do network marketing for 5 years. The reason why I included it in the businesses that I've had through the journey is because it did play a big role in my life. and a big role in my entrepreneurial journey and my business and my mindset and the knowledge that I got from it, going to all the seminars and listening to different successful people. Did play a big role. It was a failure because I didn't make any money, but like I said, with failures you learn. So I learned so much in that, even though it was a failure. I did learn so much. That's why I do recommend network marketing. You just gotta go in there with the right mindset. You might not get rich, but the knowledge that you learn from it could get you rich, right? And one thing that I did do, it wasn't really a business, and I'm gonna end it with this, was something called the Flip Challenge. It wasn't a business, it was really just a challenge amongst friends to see who could take the littlest amount of money, right? Allotted, so we allotted like $100 or $200. You take $200 for a whole year and you see what you can flip it into. So you start with 200, you see what you can flip it into, you document it, and you see how big it can go. We did that with a couple of friends, with 6 friends. You make a little bet, you know, winner, loser, or winner, you know, the losers pay them $200. They play with their startup costs. Depending on how many people you have in the Flip Challenge, you can win a substantial amount of money. That wasn't a failure. We just failed to do it again, right? We did it like in 2018, and it was a great experience for me. It brought me extra money. I did win, but I really want to do a Flip Challenge again. There are rules, and that's where you come into play, right? Let's do a Flip Challenge. Let's challenge you and myself to make some extra money. Let's see what we can do. Let's see how good we are at business. Let's see how resourceful we are, and let's do a Flip Challenge. I don't know what the rules are going to be yet. I don't know what the startup cost is going to be. I don't know what the reward's going to be, but we can work on that together. So if you're interested, hit me up. Put it in the comment section below. Let's do the Flip Challenge, right? Challenge me. See if you can beat me in the Flip Challenge. I won last year. I know my buddy Nat, he also had a Flip Challenge. I actually stole the idea from him. He won his. He was killing the game. We can do a Flip Challenge, right? We'll do it for a whole year, or we can do it for 6 months, whatever you feel comfortable with. Let's figure it out as a group. And let's do the Flip Challenge. I'm gonna plan it out with or without you. So if you're interested, just let me know in the comment section below. I can always send you the rules once I figure it out. And we can do the Flip Challenge, right? Let's turn 200 into 2,000. Let's turn 200 into 10,000. I don't know, but there's potential in it, and it's just extra money for doing something fun and flipping and just seeing what you can do and how resourceful you are. So, like I said, hit it up in the comment section below. And that's it. That's part 5 of my entrepreneurial journey, right? I might have just came up with a new business idea. I don't know. We'll see. But as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's your boy, Jordan, Mr. Pull the Trigger Bang Bang, signing out with the Diversified Income Project. Peace, y'all.